Manuka honey is a type of honey that's native to New Zealand. It's produced by bees who pollinate from a certain flower, commonly known as the Manuka bush. Manuka honey's antibacterial property are what set it apart from traditional honey. Methyl glyoxal is the active ingredient and is likely responsible for the antibacterial effects. Additionally, Manuka honey has antiviral, anti-inflammatory and antioxidant properties. In fact, it's traditionally been used for wound healing, to soothe sore throats, to prevent tooth decay and to improve digestive issues. Since ancient times, honey has been used to treat wounds, burns, sores and boils. In 2007, Manuka honey was approved by the US FDA as an option for wound treatment. Honey offers antibacterial and antioxidant properties, all while maintaining a moist wound environment and a protective barrier, which prevents microbial infections in the wound. Multiple studies have shown that Manuka honey can enhance wound healing, can amplify the regeneration of tissue, and even decrease pain in patients who are suffering from burns. For example, one 2-week study investigated the effects of applying a Manuka honey dressing on 40 people with non-healing wounds. The results showed that 88% of the wounds decreased in size. Moreover, it helped to create an acidic wound environment which favours wound healing. And what's more, the Manuka honey can help to heal diabetic ulcers. A Saudi Arabian study found that Manuka honey wound dressings, when used in combination with conventional wound treatment, healed diabetic ulcers more effectively than conventional treatment alone. Additionally, a Greek study showed that Manuka honey wound dressings reduced the healing time and it disinfected wounds in patients with diabetic foot ulcers. Another study observed the effectiveness of Manuka honey in healing eyelid wounds after surgery. They found all eyelid wounds healed well, regardless of whether the incisions were treated with Manuka honey or Vaseline. However, patients reported that scarring treated with Manuka honey was less stiff and significantly less painful when compared to scarring treated with Vaseline. Lastly, Manuka honey is effective at treating wound infections caused by antibiotic-resistant strains such as Staphylococcus aureus, MRSA. The regular topical application of Manuka honey on wounds and infections may help to prevent the MRSA. According to the CDC, almost 50% of Americans have some form of periodontal disease. To avoid tooth decay and to keep your gums healthy, it's important to minimize bad oral bacteria that can cause plaque formation. It's also important not to totally wipe out the good bacteria that's responsible for keeping your mouth healthy. Studies have shown that Manuka honey attacks the harmful oral bacteria that's associated with plaque formation, gum inflammation, and tooth decay. Research has shown that Manuka honey with a high antibacterial activity is effective at inhibiting the growth of harmful oral bacteria. One study examined the effects of chewing or sucking on a honey chew to reduce the plaque and the gingivitis. The honey chew was made of Manuka honey and was similar to a chewy honey candy. After 3 daily meals, participants were instructed to either chew or to suck on the honey chew for 10 minutes, or to chew a sugar-free gum. The honey chew group showed a significant reduction in plaque and gingival bleeding when compared to those who chewed the sugar-free gum. The idea of consuming honey for good oral health may seem counterintuitive, as you've probably been told that consuming too much sugar can lead to cavities. However, unlike candy and refined sugar, Manuka honey's potent antibacterial effects make it unlikely to contribute to cavity or tooth decay. If you're suffering from a sore throat, Manuka honey can provide some relief. Its antiviral and antibacterial properties can reduce inflammation and attack the bacteria that cause the pain. Not only does the Manuka honey attack the harmful bacteria, it also coats the inner lining of the throat for a soothing effect. A recent study in patients undergoing chemotherapy treatment for head and neck cancer observed the effects of consuming Manuka honey on Streptococcus mutans, a type of bacteria responsible for sore throats. Researchers found a significant decrease in Streptococcus mutans after they consumed Manuka honey. Moreover, Manuka honey decreases harmful oral bacteria that causes mucositis, a common side effect of radiation and chemotherapy. Mucositis results in the inflammation and painful ulceration of the mucous membrane lining the esophagus and the digestive tract. For quite some time, various types of honey have been touted as natural cough suppressants. In fact, one study found regular honey was as effective as a common cough suppressant. Although Manuka honey wasn't used in the study, it's likely to be just as effective at suppressing coughs. Stomach ulcers are one of the most common illnesses affecting humans. They're sores that form on the lining of the stomach, causing stomach pain, nausea, and bloating. Helicobacter pylori is a common type of bacteria, and it's responsible for the majority of gastric ulcers. Research suggests that Manuka honey can help to treat the gastric ulcers caused by the Helicobacter pylori. For example, a test tube study examined its effects on biopsies of gastric ulcers caused by the Helicobacter pylori. The results were positive, and it implied that the Manuka honey is a useful antibacterial agent against the Helicobacter pylori. A small 2-week study in 12 individuals who took 1 tablespoon of Manuka honey by mouth daily showed that it did not decrease the Helicobacter pylori bacteria. So more research is needed to fully assess its ability to treat gastric ulcers. Gastric ulcers can also be caused by excessive alcohol consumption. A study in rats showed that Manuka honey helped to prevent alcohol-induced gastric ulcers. Irritable bowel syndrome is a common digestive disorder. Its associated symptoms include constipation, diarrhea, abdominal pain, and irregular bowel movements. Interestingly, researchers have discovered that regularly consuming Manuka honey can help to decrease these symptoms. Manuka honey has been proven to improve antioxidant status and to reduce inflammation in rats with both irritable bowel syndrome and ulcerative colitis, a type of inflammatory bowel disease. It's also been shown to attack strains of Clostridium difficile. Clostridium difficile, often called C. diff, is a type of bacterial infection that causes severe diarrhea and inflammation of the bowel. C. diff is commonly treated with antibiotics. However, a recent study observed their effectiveness of Manuka honey on the C. difficile strain. The Manuka honey killed the C. diff cells, making it a possible effective treatment. Cystic fibrosis is an inherited disorder, and it damages the lungs and can also affect the digestive system and other organs. It affects the cells that produce mucus, causing mucus to be abnormally thick and sticky. This thick mucus clogs the airways and the ducts, making it difficult to breathe. Unfortunately, upper respiratory infections are quite common in people with cystic fibrosis. Manuka honey has been shown to fight bacteria that cause the upper respiratory tract infections. Pseudomonas aeruginosa and Burkholderia species are 2 common bacteria that can cause serious upper respiratory tract infections, especially in vulnerable populations. One study observed the effectiveness of Manuka honey against these bacteria in people with cystic fibrosis. Results indicate that it can inhibit the growth, and it can work in conjunction with antibiotic treatment. Therefore, researchers concluded that Manuka honey may play an important role in treating upper respiratory tract infections, especially in those with cystic fibrosis. Acne is usually caused by hormonal changes, but it can also be a reaction to poor diet, stress, or bacteria growth in clogged pores. The antimicrobial activity of Manuka honey, when used in combination with low pH product, is often marketed to fight acne. Manuka honey can help to keep the skin free of bacteria, which could expedite the acne healing process. Given its anti-inflammatory properties, Manuka honey is said to decrease inflammation that's associated with acne. There's very limited research on Manuka honey's ability to treat acne. One study investigated the effects of Manuka honey, which has antibacterial properties similar to that of Manuka honey. It's found that the Manuka honey was as effective as antibacterial soap at improving acne. Some people should consult a doctor before using Manuka honey, such as people with diabetes, as all types of honey are high in sugar. people who are allergic to honey or bees. Infants should also avoid honey. The Academy of Pediatrics does not recommend giving honey to babies younger than 1 due to a risk of infant botulism, a type of foodborne illness. Manuka honey is a unique type of honey. Its most notable attributes is its effect on wound healing management and healing. Manuka honey also has antibacterial, antiviral and anti-inflammatory properties, and it can help to treat numerous ailments including irritable bowel syndrome, gastric ulcers, periodontal disease and upper respiratory infections. Manuka honey is likely an effective treatment strategy that can accelerate the healing process when used in conjunction with more conventional therapies. For more information about herbs, supplements and natural treatments, check out my website.